Hello everyone, welcome to Optimal Timelines. I am your guide, Sean Collins, and helping you to connect to your most optimal future timeline. So it's that time again. It's time for the monthly Tarotscope readings for May 2022. And as most of you know, the reason I use the North Node by sign and house as opposed to your sun, moon, or ascendant sign is that it's recognized in astrology. Your North Node is your North Star, the path that you're supposed to take in this lifetime and the lessons you're supposed to learn. So it's much more relevant to your everyday life. If you're unfamiliar with your North Node, there's going to be a link in the description box below that can show you everything you need to know. So let's get started on the readings. Okay, so this is going to be your monthly Tarotscope readings for the month of May 2022 for everybody with their North Node in Leo and or the 5th house. And while I'm connecting to the energies and shuffling the cards, I want to invite you to take some deep breaths, relax into the reading, open yourself up energetically, and if you can, close your eyes if you're at a place where you could do that, and just kind of relax into the reading and get into getting the information that's going to be most helpful to you. So I'm going to connect to the energies and we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, so the spread on this side of the table represents the first half of the month from the 1st to the 15th, and then this side represents the second half of the month from the 16th to the end. So the big theme for you this month, you North Nodes in Leo or the 5th house, it's kind of a carryover from last month. With the 6 of Cups here, what I feel like is, I feel like you are learning to play life as a game. Now, with your North Node in Leo or the 5th house, okay, the 5th house in Leo rules like children. It also rules games of chance, okay, and also acting, or playing in general, okay, is ruled just like playing. And the interesting thing is that it's wanting you this month and also last month and moving forward to remember your childhood dreams and remember the creativity that you had as a child. And, that might seem like frivolous now, but in what ways right now in your life can you incorporate more playfulness? Now, again, you don't have to be a goofball. What we're talking about is going through life in a more creative, playful way. A lot of times when you watch documentaries on like famous people or whatnot, have you ever noticed, and I know you've probably seen this, but where they go about whatever it is they do in a real playful manner? And that's what this is saying, okay? Now, it's really saying here with the 6 of Wands that this is a time to really go for your dreams. okay? To move forward and to like think big. Don't worry about, because with that south node in Aquarius or the 11th house, don't worry what the people around you think and say, in, your peers, your family, your friends, like, I'm not saying they're not important. What I'm saying is sometimes the difficulty with that south node in Aquarius and or the 11th house is to think too much of what other people think. And this is a time for you to go for what like your heart says, okay? Now, Leo is, ruled by the sun, okay? The sun represents, Leo. And what you're learning to do this first half of the month, I feel like all of you have gone through some really intense things recently. Some of you more than others, but I feel like there was some like big shakeups and changes in the last, for sure, since, the beginning of the year. But the last few months, there's been like some shakeups and changes. And I feel like some of you, it could cause you to become guarded. So whatever happens, whether it was the dissolution of a relationship or a job or some other, maybe like a disappointment, or it could have been like a health challenge, but I feel like it could cause some of you to be like kind of guarded. And what is wanting to come up is this sun card is to like, take some deep breaths. It's almost like the child that, is trying to learn how to ride a bike and like falls down, and they say like, and then they have the courage to get back on the bike, they're being helped, but they have, so it's kind of like getting up and something happened, but you still have that, exuberance, and it's like, okay, I'm going to do this. And it's like a challenge to yourself. It's like a game. So when things come up, it's like you are, challenging yourself. You're looking at it as like a challenge. So I heard an interesting thing that really applies to this, like this week. And I was listening to a talk, and a speaker was talking about what happens when difficulties come up in your life and how you accept them. And this speaker said something really interesting. He said, do you ever notice how people in like life actually create problems or challenges as entertainment? And I said, what? And he goes, well, think about it. Like, if you want to climb Mount Everest, it's extremely like, difficult. It's arduous. It's expensive. It's dangerous. But it's a challenge. You're actually putting yourself in an extremely uncomfortable situation. Or any sort of a game, like a professional sport or whatever. But a lot of times, like people that do these, extreme sports or whatever, they're actually putting challenges. Like, why would I want to climb, 1,000-foot rock wall that bends out, at, whatever degree angle that is. And, like some people find that really fun and challenging. Okay. But that's what I'm talking about. That's like things happen in our life. It's like a situation happens. Okay. It's a challenge. And that's what's wanting to come up, is to think more creatively. Now, again, as I always tell you, Leo's north nodes, okay, 5th house north nodes, get those talents out, okay? Start working on those talents. And that's part of these childhood dreams that are coming up. What are some of these dreams you've had for your life that you've put on the back burner and you've not really, because it's not practical or other people don't approve of it? Start thinking about, doing those if you're not already. But in particular, this right here, okay, being able to play life as a game. Think of it in more, and I know life is serious sometimes, but ultimately, if you can see the playful creative side, it'll help you, okay? Now, the second half of the month, how is this whole theme going to help you? Okay. What I am seeing is, I'm seeing that this is going to be a relationship situation for the second half of the month. I feel like that if you're something that happened in a relationship in your life, either it's happening now or has happened in the past, there is wisdom to be learned from it. And I feel like that when you can reframe it from a more, innocent, childlike view, thinking it was like, again, whatever that relationship, where even if you're going through it right now, what have I, or what am I learning from it? What am I learning about me? What am I learning about, the other person or the people or other people, So it's this like gaining wisdom, and this can free you this second half of the month. And in particular, I feel like there is something that regarding this relationship that is tied to your future success, if that makes sense. It could even be something, for example, you finally learned something from a relationship or a string of relationships, not only romantic, but friendships, whatever. It's going to be different for each of you. But you've learned something and gained wisdom, and it's going to help you attain your goals in some way. And actually, like, it could help you financially, big time, but particularly just in moving forward in your life and like freeing you up. Excuse me. So I'm seeing this kind of like an unlocking situation where whatever you can learn from this past relationship or relationships, whatever you can learn from it, and internally and say, you know what, wow, okay, I learned these things from this. It's going to apply in your life to push you forward to your success and your dreams. And I'm seeing a lot of cards here that can push you, that are right there. Remember, this is your lifetime to shine like the sun, okay? The sun doesn't hide normally, except sometimes it gives up the show a little bit, when you have an eclipse, okay? But it's always there, and it's like the star of the show, okay? And I see these cards like the sun, okay? I see the world reversed. The world reversed is a good card, but it's these energies that are in your life can be blocking you about maybe taking life too seriously, or not wanting to step beyond the boundaries of, those around you or whatever, and kind of, but remember, you can be and do whatever you want. This is your lifetime to shine in whatever capacity, even whether it be like, a company, some sort of a creative endeavor, or even being an amazing parent. It doesn't matter. This is your time, to shine. So this is what's going on. Play life as a game. Try to look at things happening creatively. Also, relationships, what can you learn from them? Because remember, when we are playing any sort of a game or hobby, there's a learning curve. So you get better at it, okay? Anything from whatever game, even video games. You start off, you're not that good, but you just keep playing them and you get better and better and better, and your skills get honed. So what have you learned from these things? And, you're going to become an expert. But big opportunities here if you can do this, okay? So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you. If you have any questions about this reading, would love to hear from you. There's an email address down there. You can get more information if you'd like a personal reading, but also in the comments, shoot me out a question. Would have loved to hear from you. If you can, be so kind to hit that like button. Would really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks so much for watching and sharing some time with me. Much love, many blessings. We'll see you again soon.